And in the news of course, Republicans trying to impose their religious values on everybody else, especially the LGBT crowd, we have, of course, another new anti-gay bill that has just recently come out. Republican senators have introduced their own version of the House's so-called Marriage and Religious Freedom Act. Oh, that sounds incredibly, horribly anti-gay. Actually, it sounds. See, this is the fun that they love to have. This is the thing that they love to do, is to name it in a way which puts the word freedom, marriage, and fairness. Stuff like that. They try to put that in this bill to make it sound like it's not horrible. But trust me, it's horrible. Now, and it wouldn't just affect gay people. Now, that's really important. But I'm going to get into that later. Now, this, of course, guarantees the right of businesses and government employees to refuse to recognize same-sex marriage and basically to discriminate against gay people. Now, Mike Lee is, of course, he's one of the bill's sponsors, massive right-winger from Utah. He basically thinks that this is a respect for Christians' religious liberty issue. Now, I'm not kidding. He's like, well, obviously, I have to crush other people's beliefs and impose my own upon them. And if I don't, well, if I can't, you're infringing upon my religious liberty. I don't really think you understand what the word liberty means. But hey, let's go to a quote from him. Now, he says about this bill protects the rights of individuals and organizations from religious discrimination by the federal government. As if the federal government is openly discriminating against your religion. Upholding the First Amendment does not equal religious discrimination. But as Brian Fisher pointed out earlier, oh, that's okay. Well, the First Amendment doesn't apply to Christians. No, it's there to serve us, which means that our religion can be the state religion because, well, Christians founded America, obviously, and Jesus founded America. So that part of the First Amendment doesn't apply to Christians. So we can set up our own state religion, do whatever the fuck we want. That's fine. But for everybody else, then it applies. No, you dumbass. It applies to everybody. Especially you, Mike Lee. Now, he says, of course, those who believe in the traditional definition of marriage deserve respect and tolerance. No. No, they don't. Actually, no. You see, here's the thing. Liberals don't have to be tolerant of your intolerance. This is basically saying, like, why... I hate you. Why can't you tolerate me hating you? If you're a gay person out there, you know, if you're a gay person, you can't get mad at somebody hating you. This is essentially what it's trying to say. No. I'm a bigot, but you have to respect and tolerate me being a bigot. No, we don't. No, we don't. Like, yeah, if you believe in a traditional marriage for yourself, okay, get a traditional marriage. That doesn't mean, just because you don't believe in it personally, doesn't mean that you can go and tell other people whether or not what kind of marriage that they can get. Anyway, he says, it is critical that we clarify the law to ensure that their fundamental civil liberties are not at risk. What civil liberties? What civil liberties are at risk when a gay person gets married? They're not directly coming in and forcing you to go into gay marriages. No, that's not what they're doing. They're just saying that, hey, we're going to allow gay people to get married. But these people are like, no. People like David Vitter and Mike Lee are saying, no. We don't want that. That infringes upon our liberty to hate them. Because if they can get married, then, well, that basically gives gay people legitimacy. And we definitely don't want that because we don't agree with them. But this is America, where you can agree with somebody and you can disagree with somebody. But you can't. That doesn't mean that you can take away their fundamental rights to be able to get married. And in no way does gay marriage take away your religious liberty. You are still free to pray to Yahweh or whatever. Nobody's stopping that. Nobody's saying that you can't go to church or believe in a God. It's just saying that, hey, gay people can get married. If that's a sin in your little book, oh well. So is pretty much everything else. A great quote that I love from The Simpsons is the pastor himself going through the book. He said, you ever read this thing? Everything's a sin. Technically, you can't even go to the bathroom. That's essentially it, too. Yeah, pretty much everything's a sin. Being born is a sin. And a lot of the same arguments used against gay people were also used against civil rights and for black people and even interracial marriage. That it's a sin, that it's not right, that it's not... That they could use the biblical argument against all of that, and they have. And every time that they've lost. Maybe it's time to give it up. Now, I want to go to David Vitter as well. Now, he had some quotes about this as well that say that his religious liberty, his freedom, is under attack by marriage equality. Now, I want to ask first, before I get into that quote, I want to ask how is his religious freedom under attack by marriage equality? That's what they can never answer. Now, he says, religious freedom is a foundational principle to our great nation, and it's something that Louisianans and folks across the nation or country cherish, including the millions of Americans like myself who support traditional marriage. But for a number of reasons, the basic freedom is under attack by the current administration. Once again, how? This bill will protect groups from administrative attacks such as additional hurdles with taxes or obtaining federal grants or contracts. I have to point out that this is not about taxes or obtaining federal grants or contracts. It's about trying to deny people a right to get married because they don't agree with their lifestyle, because it will add legitimacy to that lifestyle, and they're totally afraid of that. Pat Robertson, just the other day, I read an article about him where he basically said, yeah, you got to keep your kids away from lesbians or they're going to catch the gay. No, that's not it at all. No, what they're trying to do is that they're trying to prevent it's preventing social progress. Because once people start to see gay people get married and realize that it doesn't impact their life a single little bit, they start to go, oh, I guess this gay marriage thing, it's not so bad. The earth didn't catch on fire after all. God didn't, God didn't punish us, didn't punish the nation. Guess it's not so bad after all. And that's what these conservatives are so afraid of. They're so afraid of marriage equality because it will show regular people that might be on the fence that, oh, you know what? That gay marriage, not so bad. I guess it didn't lead to horse marriage. I guess it didn't lead to pedophilia. I guess it didn't lead to any of that stuff. Well, I guess my pastor was wrong. I get what other stuff is my pastor wrong about? Maybe that's the next question they're afraid of people asking. And so, it's one of those things where they're trying to prevent this social progress to stop people from learning the truth. Going back to Pat Robertson, that's the reason he doesn't want lesbians, where he warns people to keep lesbians away from their kids, because they're going to find out that a lot of lesbians are lovely people. But you know what? People are people. And once people realize that gay people are just like everybody else, there's no difference whatsoever. And that who you love doesn't make you necessarily a different person or a worse person. Who you love is who you love, and that's your own choice. And once people see that and see that someone else being gay doesn't affect your life at all, they're going to come around and say, why is there a problem? Why is this a problem? Why are you fighting so hard against it? And I think, that's the way our country is going right now. And bills like these, the implications of these, and I didn't even get to the most important, to the part that actually does affect straight people. I'll get to that. Is that the implications for this would be to roll back this progress, to roll back temporarily, because this bill probably won't pass, and if it does, it only passes the House and gets destroyed in the Senate. So this isn't even going to go through. And we're not going to see anything like this, because people like this, people who believe in this, are slowly, and I hate to say it, dying off. There are less and less people who believe this, and there are less and less people who are being judgmental, and gay marriage will continue to become the norm. And that's not a bad thing. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention of how this would affect straight couples is that it would also discriminate against anybody who engages in premarital sex, which would be a majority of the population. So that's another part of the bill that would make it disastrous, and that's another reason why it would never go through. So it's almost like the oral sex thing that Ken Cuccinelli tried to pass. And it just, if anything's an attack in your constitutional right, it's your right to privacy that would be destroyed by that kind of legislation. It's literally unconstitutional. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Please leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and share with your friends. If you want to see more, go to our channel at youtube.com/TYTNation. And if you really want to support the show, support this channel, go to our fundraising campaign at www.patreon.com/TYTNation. The website is in the description below. Thank you guys, and keep watching.